Hi Taurus, welcome to April 2017. Now this is a dynamic month. Your ruling planet moves direct on the 15th, and that is good news. And you have the raw energy to take on new goals, take on the world. You're feeling really strong here in April going into May. Now, the first part of April is a bit rocky. And that's because the Sun in Aries is being opposed by Jupiter exactly on the 7th, and then squared by Pluto, challenged by Pluto on April 8th, and then it merges with Uranus on the 14th. All of this is in the Libra full moon on April 10th and 11th. Now this is one badass moon because Libra, is very much about harmony and peace and getting along with others. And it has Jupiter with it, which is giving it a lot of power. And so there's going to be this, maybe tug of war or freedom versus intimacy or relationship versus being an individual. And so there's going to be a lot of energy around this full moon, and especially on those dates I just gave you. Now for you, it brings the action to the area of your work, your health, your lifestyle, your psychological diet, how you feed yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And the Sun is in Aries, and that is about working behind the scenes. It's about finishing projects. It's about completions. It's about your spirituality and anything that you do to connect to source energy, to connect to who you really are. And so this is happening for you in the life-work balance area. Now Pluto is T-squaring the Sun, the Moon, Uranus and Jupiter, and this has been going on for years. This is what's been creating all of the changes in the world, and so it's still ongoing as we have these full moons or new moons. The faster moving planets keep activating the Pluto-Uranus energy. And so it is going to create some real chaos. And, for you, it's in the area of life-work balance. And so you want to be making sure that you are taking really good care of yourself. You're not burning the candle at both ends. You're not being an extreme workaholic. And then, exhaustion sets in, or other health-related, stress-related challenges because you are going for it, going after whatever you're going after. Remember, life-work balance. You're here to have a life. You're here to love your life. You're here to live your best life. And so, maybe this Libra full moon is bringing that to your attention, is to really look at where you're out of balance, right? If you're working too much, or you're not paying attention to your diet, or eating the wrong things, or whatever is stressing you, you're going to have an opportunity at this full moon to really look at how you're taking care of yourself and how you're getting in your own way. Because that 12th house where the Sun is, that's where we sabotage ourselves. That's where we limit ourselves. And we all do it, including moi, is we all, have our ways of sabotaging ourselves or getting in our own way. And, this is going to bring to your conscious awareness, oh, I do that. Oh, maybe I need to change that. Yeah, And so, and the Uranian energy, it can be weird at times. But if we can just get past that uncomfortability of weird or foreign, where things feel foreign And we're like, oh, that's so foreign, oh, right? But it could be exactly what you need at this moment, right? So, and it could be something to do with your diet, or maybe you need some supplements, or you need, something that you haven't thought about, and then all of a sudden it hits you. It's like, whoa, I do need this, and this can really help me. And, and then it doesn't feel weird anymore, or it brings you up into a higher state of consciousness, right? Because you do have Pluto in that area of higher consciousness, higher learning. And he is challenging this full moon. It is exactly challenging the sun on the 8th. And then Uranus is exactly merging with the sun on the 14th. And so these are dates where you could be getting epiphanies. You could be getting like a tremendous insight, like, oh, this is something I need to be doing, or, I never thought about it that way. However, this could really help me, right? And I think that's what the universe is doing with you, is even though something can feel strange or weird or crazy, it could be exactly what you need to hear at that moment, or see, or know, right? And so it is a very interesting month. It's a very dynamic month. And then, of course, you've got your ruling planet, Venus. She goes back into Pisces right at the beginning of the month. And then she moves back into Aries later in the month. She goes direct on the 15th. And then she re-enters Aries on the 28th and couples with Uranus on that day. So there's a lot of epiphanies coming to you this month. And what have you learned since March, since the beginning of March until, I would even say till the end of April, right? So all of March and April, there's all this new insight and understanding coming to you about you, what you want, what you need. Or even as she moves back into Pisces, you could be creating new goals for yourself. Like, I have a new goal, and new hopes and wishes, new dreams. Like you're like, okay, that goal I don't need anymore. This is the goal I'm going for now. This is where I'm going. I'm going over here now. And it's exciting, and it's fun, and it's interesting. So think about in March and April what Venus has taught you, because she is showing you a tremendous amount. And when she moves back into Aries, she will be taking you, back into that area of, meditation, creation, and working with the inner world, the inner being, working with source energy, God, creator, and the goddess, and working with that spiritual energy. You may even find that, you're, and especially as she retrograded in March, in March and April into May, that you're really craving your meditation time. You're really craving, that alone time, which is, the word alone means all one, which means you're never alone, because when you're alone, you're with God, you're with the angels, you're with the masters. And so you could be like, oh, I want to be, out on the land meditating, or down at the beach meditating, and just, totally, having time for being in the moment, just being in the now and being in the moment, and time to reflect and time to review. And that's, why it's so exciting for you, because you're getting ready for your new moon, right? Is the sun is moving into Taurus on the 19th, and that is going to fly. I mean, it's just, March is going to fly, April is going to fly, even with the retrogrades, right? Venus goes direct on the 15th. That's going to be like really be a time for great clarity for you and insight into what you want to be doing, who you want to be doing it with. And Venus sextiles Mars on the 16th. That's a beautiful day. That's a beautiful relationship day. And the Sun trines Saturn on the 17th, and then 2 days later moves into Taurus on the 19th. Happy birthday for those of you born in April, and happy birthday for those of you born in May, but I'll be back again to wish you happy birthday in May. And so this is a really positive energy and positive time in your life. I think, at that Libra full moon in those first couple of weeks, and it is about, paying attention to your health, to your work habits, and Venus will square Saturn on the 8th. So that could be a day where, you get this message from the universe to really evaluate your goals, evaluate, maybe there's a friendship you need to evaluate or a relationship you need to look at where there's an imbalance, where, maybe you've outgrown the situation or the relationship and it's time to move on. It's time to maybe address some imbalance that is there. Is Saturn can really bring it home when he challenges like this. And, he is examining and testing you and your relationships as to how it is serving you and what's going on in the relationship. And that can be a business relationship, a personal relationship, it can be a friendship, it can be a lover. It's, all of the above, because Venus rules relationships. And Saturn is testing her on the 8th, and of course the Sun is being squared by Pluto that day too, which is intense. And Saturn goes retrograde April 6th through August 25th. And that's good because that gives us an opportunity to digest and assimilate all the growth we've done with Saturn since he went direct last year. And he's getting right up to the end of Sagittarius here, right before he retrogrades. He gets up to almost, I think, 28 degrees, and you see where I can see him. He's in harmony with both moons, almost to 28 degrees Sagittarius. And he's in harmony with both moons, even that Libra moon, which is very intense. And he's in harmony with your new moon coming up here. So there's a lot of support going on, even though, you're being asked to make some changes to your work, to your health, to this routine that you've got going here. For some of you, maybe you're just doing too much. You've taken on a lot of responsibility. Maybe you've taken on a new role and it's really requiring of you and you're going to be feeling it, these first few weeks. And Saturn's checking in with you right on that 8th going, hey, without you, what do we have? And what are you getting out of it? What are you receiving? And, it could be like a lot of money, right? But you've taken on this big role. And so, it could be like now you don't have time for a personal life, or, there's an imbalance with the personal and the professional. It's going to be unique for each one of you, right? Because we're all on our own life path, even though we're all working with these energies. And for those of you that have been waiting on something, just be patient a little bit longer because things are coming your way. You are getting a new start and things are really going to shape up and shape out the way you want it to in these weeks ahead. And so there are some challenges or setbacks that may be experienced here, but that, I have found with Saturn, especially when Saturn is holding things up, is there's always a reason that we don't know until afterwards, that it's a blessing in disguise. that, like not getting the job or not getting the house or something that you want, is actually the universe protecting you from making the wrong moves. So know that if you're waiting on a new job or situation or move or relationship, if there's delays, it's the universe protecting you from getting into the wrong thing. Because sometimes we're just ready for change and we're just like, we'll take anything. And you could be settling for less than what you deserve. And so the universe doesn't want you to do that. The universe wants you to live your best life. And so if you don't get something, it's because there's something better coming. So it's so important to be patient with these energies, because we've got these crazy energies coming at us, especially at this Libra full moon, and with the Sun conjunct Uranus on the 14th, that's expect the unexpected. And Venus doesn't go direct till the 15th, so the first 2 weeks of April are going to be like dodging curveballs and, riding the wave and, having karate chops thrown at you. And, you got to move with the energy. It's very important to stay flexible, and fixed signs don't like to be flexible. Fixed signs are fixed. And so I'm a fixed sign. And so fixed signs don't like to change unless we want to change. We don't like change thrown at us. We don't like it. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do it. But when it's thrown at you, it's like, no, I don't want to go. Right? So we dig in. But then you break in this energy. This energy can break you, because if you're too fixed, the energy will karate chop you. And so you want to be flexible. You want to go with the flow. And remind yourself that whatever you're going for, that it will come in the right time. Timing is everything. And everything happens in the right time, when you need it, when it's right for you. And so this is a very interesting energy that's going on here. Now, Mercury is taking his turn to retrograde April 9th through May 3rd. Now, I don't see that as a challenge. I mean, I see it as a challenge, but I don't see it as a negative, because I really feel that there's something that we need to look at. There's something we need to pay attention to. The universe is saying, slow down. Don't be in a hurry. That even though these energies can make you want to amp up and take action and move, it isn't necessarily the best time to. Because with Mercury retrograde, we can be missing some of the steps. It starts out at 5 degrees Taurus, and then it backs into Aries, and it goes all the way back into Aries. And so it starts out with you where you can be getting maybe even a false start at something, where you think something's starting, but then it gets delayed again. But that's okay. It's going direct May 3rd. And May, you're going to love May, because May is just all green lights. And so, there may be something you're missing. There may be a piece of the puzzle you don't know, or there's someone that needs to deliver a message to you that you don't have yet. Or, the universe wants you to take more time for yourself. And when you wait, things come to you, right? It's like, let the law of attraction bring it to you. Draw it to you, rather than being in a hurry. And so, very interesting month, because with that Uranian energy and the Sun in Aries, it makes us all want to just go and be impulsive and jump for things. But yet, Venus is retrograde till the 15th, and then Mercury goes retrograde. And there's almost a week of overlap where both of them are retrograde, and they're so personal in your astrology. They're so important. Venus is what you love and value. Mercury is how you think and communicate. And with both of them in the subconscious, we just want to make sure that we're not missing something, because you can feel like you're in a dream state with these energies. And that's not the best time to make financial decisions or life-changing decisions, right? Or commit to something. So hang loose on commitment. In other words, don't take on anything new right now. Finish up what needs to be finished for you, and then wait until Mercury goes direct on May 3rd. Now, I know life isn't always that flexible. So, if you're going to sign a contract or you are going to, start something new, just make sure you're reading all the details. Make sure that you know exactly what's in that contract or exactly what's being expected of you. Then that way you're covering your bases. And if you have to change something later, it won't be so drastic. It can be something minor. So, just take your time, and then the energy is working for you. Then it is empowering you. Now, also with that Libra moon, it could also, there could be some power struggles going on at work, right? And so, that's where it's really important that you're taking care of yourself. And, not getting caught up in any drama that's going on with colleagues or, a boss, or even, if you own your own business, clients, patients, customers, just be aware that this is going to be an intense moon, and, people are going to be pushing at each other, and we're seeing so much of that polarity going on, with people, and it could be very strong at this Libra full moon. And, it's just best to stay on the sidelines and let the storm pass rather than get caught between the headwinds of opposing people or opposing views or opposing sides. Because you've got a lot to do, and you don't want to be distracted by the politics or the games or the hidden agendas, power plays that are going on. Is try to stay on the sidelines as much as possible. Stay neutral in your opinion. Stay neutral. It doesn't mean you don't have an opinion or you don't take a stand for something. It's just that people have been a little too much lately with this Jupiter-Uranus energy, this opposition that's been going on since last fall. And, they're getting so political, and you can be opposed to something and you don't have to hate the person for it. Just because we don't politically agree, that doesn't mean I have to dislike you, right? And that's where it's just getting so nasty with some people, is they're just, just if you're not with me, you're against me kind of thing. And it's like, no. Let's move into a third position where I understand your position, I understand my position, and I'm over here taking a neutral position. Because you've got a lot to do, and you don't want to get caught up in these hidden agendas and ego games, and what is coming out here, because full moons always bring things to light that have been hidden, and this is a very intense energy that is best to take it on the down low, is to not get caught up in the fire, not get caught up in the arguments, especially, because people could be like, Uranus can make us crazy, where we're just like, we're saying things, but it's like, what did that mean? Didn't mean anything. It's just a person who's very angry, and so that kind of crazy talk can be on Facebook and going on the internet. The good news is, when the sun goes into Taurus and we have the Taurus new moon, there's no challenging aspects to that new moon. And because Saturn is so late in Sagittarius, almost to Capricorn, your sister sign, it is forming loosely a harmonious energy flow with the new moon in Taurus on the 26th of April. So the first couple of weeks are kind of rocky because of the intensity, and then everything starts to settle down and ground, which is really good. Having the sun go into Taurus can help all of us ground the energy, because there's still a lot of good things happening with the Aries sun and the Libra moon, but it can be just so fast and surprising that it kind of can knock us off balance. However, then when we get to the sun in Taurus, we start to ground that energy. And then we have this very harmonious new start coming in at the end of the month on the 26th of April with the new moon in Taurus. And it's really beautiful because the sun and the moon are coupled together in Taurus, and they're in harmony with Saturn. And, you know, for you, it's about a new beginning, a new start, new fortune, new opportunity. And then once Mercury goes direct on the 3rd of May, all green lights, right? And, you know, May is going to be an amazing month because, you know, people will be more grounded, and, you know, it'll be easier to work with others, and you have this beautiful new start. You get one new moon a year, one full moon a year, and you get your full moon when the sun is in Scorpio. This is your new moon, and it's lovely. And that is a message that this is going to be a very positive year for you, solar year till your birthday of 2018. And it's all about you and new beginnings and new opportunities. And as that moon moves forward and the sun moves forward, it forms a harmonious energy flow with powerful Pluto in Capricorn, your sister sign, which is very beneficial for you. And I'll have that date for you when I come back and do May. May looks amazing, and it's your month. That's a good sign for Taurus. So you really are in a strong position and have new opportunities coming in for you, especially, you know, by the 3rd week in April and going into May. You're going to find that you really are in the driver's seat, and you're ready to take on the world, and you're ready to, you know, go after your goals and your hopes and wishes, and go after whatever your heart desires, because it's now time for you. And also on the 28th, very close to that new moon, Venus will re-enter Aries, and she'll couple with Uranus on that day. And that can create like new solutions, innovative ideas, exciting possibilities. It's the power of new potentials and lasting success, because even though the Libra full moon is kind of crazy with the Uranus-Pluto, Saturn is trining the sun and sextile the moon in Libra, which is, if we can stay out of the crazy and just stay grounded, you know, we can experience lasting success with whatever we're doing here in April and May. And, you know, you have it going on both moons, where, you know, Saturn is in harmony with the Libra moon, but then Saturn is in harmony with the Taurus new moon. It's loose, it's about, you know, 8 degrees, almost 9 degrees, but it's still on, and he's trining the moon and the sun and even Mercury. And so, yeah, even Mercury, you know, even though Mercury's retrograde, you know, it's in harmonious energy flow with Saturn, which is really good news, because, you know, Saturn is the way out from any craziness or imbalance that's going on. You know, is be patient, be sober, be realistic, and you will be successful. But you have a very successful year coming up, Taurus, and this is just the beginning of the good news coming your way, the good opportunities. So finish the unfinished business up until your birthday, and then get ready for new opportunities, new start, new fortune. Especially as you roll into May, things are really going your way. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Oh, things are really going your way. For those of you open for love, you could see a new start in relationship at the time of your new moon. Now that Venus is direct, new beginnings are happening for you. So be open for love, because it could happen by the end of April, May, June, and so forth. For those of you coupled, this is a wonderful time for you to carve out personal time for each other. Do fun things together. Go horseback riding. Go swimming in the ocean. Do things together that celebrate your relationship. Now, Mars moves into Gemini on April 21st, and that can increase income for you. And the more you hustle, the more you earn with Mars. Also, there could be some sort of expense that you need to cut out, or there could be a surprising expense that comes up, but you will have the resources to take care of it. And I'll talk more about that when I come back to do May. And there is new opportunities coming in for you in your career, and I'm seeing more of that coming in May. This is a month where it's really important for you to work on taking care of you and getting ready for your new start that's coming when the sun enters Taurus on the 19th, and then the new moon at the end of the month, and taking you into May. This is also a very spiritual time for you. So this is the time for you to do things that really ground you and connect you to your soul self, your higher self, and the universe. And health. This is also a very important month for health. Remember, your wealth is in your health. The better you feel, the more you can achieve. The better you feel, the more you're open to new love and open to receiving love. And that's what it's all about. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing, and Google Plusing my videos. Taurus, you're rocking awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you would like for me to take a detailed look at your astrology, it's very easy. The link is below in the Show More section. It's also up in the cards. And until next time, Taurus. New beginnings are coming. Just a little bit longer, waiting for that new moon, waiting for Mercury to go direct, and it's all about you and your new fortune, new start, new you.